How you guys doing? I bought a kendama. I bought myself a kendama. You guys heard of these? It's a Japanese toy. I saw a lot of kids playing with it and I was like, what is that? I gotta figure out what that is. So I bought myself one. You have to have a lot of patience. It's like a yo-yo kind of. Strategically place it and throw it and catch it. Anyway, my name is Jamila McClooney and welcome to Financially Free by MoneyMD. So this is the first of many. I'm going to be talking about all things financial, financial tips, things that may be able to help you along your financial journey. So today I think what we'll talk about is credit. Now, credit is important. You really can't do anything and maneuver too well in this life without it. How important is it? Well, it's the foundation for everything. You know, it determines how much you pay, what your interest rate is on certain loans, credit cards, mortgages, car loans, and they can take you anywhere from 0% with very good credit to high double digits, 20s, 25, 29% interest rate on something. So, most of us have been educated about credit. You know, nobody ever sat me down and told me how important it was. I went off to college. They had all the little, tables set up and they gave us free Subway sandwiches if we filled out this credit application. They gave us free t-shirts and, I didn't know I wanted a Subway sandwich. I was hungry. So signed up without a job. I got 2 credit cards. Needless to say, that didn't turn out too well. And before even graduating from college, I was in a mountain of debt. I didn't really understand how credit worked. So for those of you who may not understand credit or may be unclear as to everything that is affected by credit, let's just go over the basics. There are 3 scores, 3 crediting agencies. There's EXPERIAN, TRANSUNIon, and EQUIFAX. You get a number from all of those 3. So it depends on what type of financing you're trying to get, which score that they look at. Some people look at the middle score, some people look at the highest score, some places take an average of the scores. So it's important to know that there are 3 companies who rate your credit and report. One of the things that's important to know about them is you are entitled to a free credit report every year. Free annual report. You should never have to pay for it. There are a lot of sites that offer it. You can actually go to the sites themselves, EXPERIAN.com, EQUIFAX.com, TRANSUNION.com, and get your free credit report. Some reports will give you the score. Some reports will just report back and tell you what's on it, the debts that you have. Anything 30 days late, 60, 90 days late is reported on your credit. So it's very important. A reason why it is important to get your free report is a couple months ago, I pulled mine because I hadn't gotten it for the year, wanted to see what was on it. And I had a direct TV bill. So I'm looking like, where did this come from? I didn't owe direct TV. Why is this on there? So I'm hot, right? I call direct TV. I'm like, hey, you guys reported this on my credit. What is it? Why is it here? So after being bounced around from tons and tons of incompetent representatives, they finally found, we don't know why we put that on there. We see that you don't owe us. You don't have a balance with us. So I had to go through the company who was reporting it to the credit, saying that I owed, call them. They're like, we don't know. DirecTV says you have a 0 balance. Yes, so why are y'all reporting it on my credit? Long story short, they removed it, but my credit score suffered because of that. So just because something was placed on there in error, your score doesn't necessarily go back to what it was once before the error. So it's very important to monitor that, make sure you're keeping up with what's on there and disputing what shouldn't be on there. A lot of times there's the golden rule of 7 years if something's on there, and at the end of 7 years, they have to remove it. Well, you can go online to Equifax.com, Experian.com, TransUnion.com, and dispute them yourselves. And you can actually go through the process electronically. You put in, you say what you're disputing, and then they will follow up with the creditor themselves and see if in fact the debt is yours and if you're liable and responsible for it. So you don't necessarily need to get into paying a bunch of reporting credit restore agencies, to do that for you, because you can actually do it yourself. And once that's done, it will be removed from your credit and you slowly start to see your score go up. One thing to know that I didn't know is speeding tickets can be reported on your credit. Did you know that? I did not know that. A friend of mine was going through the mortgage process to purchase a house, which is very credit based. It's usually a 30 to 45 day process from the beginning of getting pre-qualified into being funded with the loan and closing on the house. So my friend's husband got a speeding ticket and he paid it a day late. Well, they put it on his credit, so reported to the credit, and they were in jeopardy of losing their home or the home that they were, trying to buy. So they had to go through a bunch of red tape to try to get that removed. So it's very important to monitor it and keep up with what's going on your credit report. What else did I want to say about that? Like I said, it's important because it affects the rates that you get. Sometimes, people use credit as a source of additional income to kind of get things that they can't afford. You want that Louis bag, you want that new purse, you just go and charge it. Well, you're going to have interest with that. And usually what you charge, way after the thrill is over, you're still paying a bill on that. So to use credit effectively and in the right way, I always suggest to my clients, charge everything that you're going to buy with your own money anyway. So for instance, if you have a credit card, put your gas on there when you go to the gas station. Put your groceries on there and pay it right off. Don't wait for the interest to accrue. And a lot of people use that to get points. Some credit card companies will give you points. You can get mileage for flights, and that adds up. So if you use it that way, or in case of emergency only, not I don't have enough money, but I really want to catch the sale type deal, I think you'll be in a good place. So we're not going to use credit to get things that we can't afford. We're going to be smart about it. We're going to check our reports. We're going to make sure that everything is a-okay with it. What else is important about credit? That's pretty much it. Stay on top of it. I've heard stories. I know we all probably know somebody who, before they were 7 years old, had a light bill or a gas bill in their name because their parents' credit was messed up and they couldn't get it. It's very valuable, and once it's damaged, it's really hard to repair it. If you fall in a place where you do have defaulted items or items that were charged off, you get harassed by creditors. They may call you constantly, send you letters, threaten you. They could garnish your wages. They could hold your taxes and any refund that you might get from that. They want their money. So be diligent, stay on top of that. If you are in a place that you're trying to restore your credit, one of the good things to do is to get a secured credit card, which basically means you use your own money. You can start with a balance of $300, $500 of your own money. It's used kind of like a debit card. You only charge, what you have available on that, and then you send the money in to pay it off. Also keep in mind that things are typically reported every 30 days. Like I said, 30, 60, 90, they'll start to put those marks on your credit. Credit scores can range anywhere from, they range from good, fair, excellent. I'm starting to see clients who are in the higher 800s of credit. And before, only my grandfather and older people had 800 scores. And with those high scores, 7, 8s, you can pretty much go in and name your price for what you want. You get very low interest rates with that. It's really rewarded. And if you have credit cards that you're not using, I wouldn't recommend to just close those out and cancel those out, because a lot of times that can also affect your rate. Your credit score. So closing a card could actually lower your score. So keep maybe 2, maybe a department store card, but use it wisely, guys. Credit is important. Check that score annually. Make sure everything is right on it. They even have credit monitoring services where, they alert you if your social security number is being used in a credit type situation. So if it's not you and something fraudulent, you can go on and stop that before it happens. So I think I've covered everything with credit. I'm going to come back next week. If you have any questions or any topic that you'd like me to cover, I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week. I'm going to sit here and try to get my kendama together. You guys check that out, because it could be hours of entertainment with that. I want to try to get it before it's over so y'all can see. Too much pressure. I probably won't be able to do it. All right. It's me, Jamila McClooney, signing off with Financially Free with MoneyMD.